In the year 2098 AC, the peace of Westeros shatters. The hand of the king, Jon Arryn, has died mysteriously, leaving a massive power vacuum in the capital. King Robert Baratheon is traveling north to recruit his old friend Ned Stark, pulling him directly into a volatile political web. In the capital, the atmosphere is already thick with suspicion. Rival factions like the Lannisters and Starks are exchanging secret letters and forging alliances to seize control of the realm. This obsession with the throne stems from a fragile reality. The current royal regime is violently new and lacks institutional stability. The political elite of Westeros are consumed by their own paranoia, convinced that the intrigues of the capital are the greatest threat to their survival. That paranoia is rooted in the events of 15 years ago. Robert's rebellion was ignited when the Mad King, Aerys Targaryen, executed high-ranking lords, and Prince Rhaegar disappeared with Lyanna Stark. The ensuing war culminated in the sack of King's Landing, which effectively annihilated a Targaryen dynasty that had ruled for 3 centuries. Robert Baratheon took the Iron Throne, establishing a new order built on betrayal and bloodshed. He sits on a chair forged from the melted swords of the defeated. The victory left loose ends. The last surviving Targaryen children, Viserys and Daenerys, were smuggled across the narrow sea to live in exile. Because the current peace was won through a devastating civil war, the lords of Westeros remain hyper-focused on securing their immediate political borders against one another. But while these warring lords play their Game of Thrones, they have forgotten an ancient truth stirring in the deep north. 12,000 years ago, during the Dawn Age, Westeros was home to the first men and the magical children of the forest. A catastrophic, generation-long winter known as the Long Night brought an apocalyptic threat down from the frozen wilderness. Terrifying beings called the Others, or White Walkers, swept south and reanimated the dead to fight as their puppets. Survival required a desperate alliance. Humanity and the children of the forest used dragonglass to eventually drive the dead back in the battle for the dawn. Westerosi civilization was forged by a desperate, united front against an existential, supernatural apocalypse. Brandon the Builder's ice wall completely dwarfs standard human castles. To seal the Others in the frozen north, he raised a barrier of solid ice 700 feet high. He founded the Night's Watch, a sworn brotherhood guarding this barrier that stretches across the entire continent. Over thousands of years, as new human invasions brought steel and new religions, belief in the Others faded into fairy tales. The Night's Watch slowly degraded from an elite shield into an underfunded penal colony for outcasts, largely ignored by the Southern Lords. Millennia of relative safety caused a widespread cultural amnesia, leaving the realm undefended in its largest blind spot. Returning to the year 298 AC, 15 years of political distraction has left the realm entirely unprepared for the return of the ancient cold. Beyond the wall, the myths are proving real. Night's Watch rangers are being slaughtered by the returned Others. Simultaneously, across the narrow sea, the exiled Daenerys Targaryen is being sold to a Dothraki warlord in exchange for an army. This trade is the catalyst for the return of dragons, the world's only counterweapon capable of fighting the ice. The 2 most powerful forces of ice and fire are re-entering the board at the same time, unnoticed by the schemers in King's Landing. When Ned Stark finds orphaned direwolf pups in the snow, it is a physical omen that untamed ancient forces are creeping back into the modern world. An apocalyptic war is brewing in the north, while the lords of the south prepare for petty civil wars over a chair. The obsession with political power has blinded humanity to its own extinction. They are fighting over the captain's chair on a sinking ship.